What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video from Wooded Rancher Productions. So we hinted about this a few months ago and it happened much faster than we thought. We built a barn. You can see it. Ta-da! It is a 90 by 100. Hold on. How big is it?
It is 30 by 100.
I was close.
Yeah, it's a three-sided, enclosed, open front with 20-foot bays. And the head height on clearance going through those 20-foot bays, it varies a little bit because our ground in that 100-foot span, our ground is about 2 foot out of level-ish. And that's okay. We were aware of it and we knew that that was the best we could do with what we had, and it's totally fine. So clearance on this side is 13 feet. And clearance on the far side down there is like 15.5-ish. So, well, there are things that we have to put in the barn that we're gonna exceed 13 feet. So some things won't fit on this side.
Like we ordered a hot air balloon. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried to store a hot air balloon, but you need clearance.
AKA my dad's camper. It's almost 13 feet tall, and we want to get it out of the sun when it's not being used, and so we just don't want to rake off the AC units. So this barn is from Troyer Post Buildings, and what they do is they basically sell you barn kits, and you can basically get on their website. It's really neat. You can get on the website, you can actually design your own barn, and then you can submit that design, and then they will reach back out to you with an estimate. One of the guys that still builds for them here locally, I had reached out to him. And so they built this barn for us, and it was done in 2 days, which is crazy impressive. But their crew came in on Monday morning and started, and they got the entire frame up by the end of Monday. And then they came in yesterday and they sheeted the roof and did all the siding and all the extra little trim pieces, and they were done in 2 days, which was just crazy impressive.
So there was lots of prep work, obviously. The driveway was always right here, but made a pad a few months ago, leveled it out last week, got it prepped and ready. The barn went up. This is an orchard that my granddad planted a long time ago, so it's been in the family for a while. We had some trees up here that we transplanted down there to the lower section by the greenhouse, and so it just took a lot of prep to get this site ready. It took a minute to get all this stuff done.
Because I had started doing the barn pad with the skid steer, and once I got into it, when I finally shot it with my laser, I was like thinking I'll just rough this in and then I'll shoot it with the laser and see where I am, and then I'll touch it up from there. But the more I got into it and the more I was eyeballing it, the more I was realizing, man, this is way more. So I stopped and I went and got my laser, and believe it or not, we were like 7 feet out of level from this end to that end, and there was no way I was going to get it done. So called in the big dogs. There's a company here in our area. The owner's name is Bubba. He's the best guy you ever met in your life, but he brought his dozer over and they got this bad boy roughed in and slicked up, and barn building went away.
So we're gonna use the barn to store equipment. As you can tell, there's equipment in there. Also for hay storage, because right now the process has not been great for the cows during the winter time.
Well, we just had to make do with what we had. We were storing our hay outside under tarps, and that's a whole debacle. The hay can stand to get wet once or twice, but it's not long term, and it just, the way we've been doing it has just not been ideal. So this is gonna allow us to be able to store our hay in the barn and keep it dry, which keeps when it's not weathered, the protein of the hay is much more, and so it's better for the cows. It loses protein as it sits out in the sun and weathers and all that. So this is just kind of an overall multi-function for our equipment and for the hay and stuff like that. So
yep, so we hope you enjoy this quick video, this quick little update that we've got, and we'll see you next time.
Which we do have a time-lapse, segments of a time-lapse of the barn being built.
Thank you for bringing that up. So let me tell you something, Charles.
Time out. So I did set up a tripod and my gimbal and a phone, okay? Before he gets into his little rant, The battery on the gimbal died the first day, so I only got a certain section of the barn being built. And then I got home and I reset the camera up and I got the last few trusses being set. Well, then the following day I had it all worked out and everything was plugged in and I had it going. And somehow things got unplugged, and so batteries died, and so time lapse of this barn building just didn't happen. And here you go.
Can I talk now?
Just defending myself.
Okay, so what had happened was, I was at work. I get a picture.
I was at work.
Well, listen,
I was at work as well.
You chose to live here. So I got a picture from Red saying you're missing the farm. I was like, bro, I'm at work. Anyway.
Missing the fun.
Fun, yeah, that too. So, I'm like, dude, you need to make sure that there is a camera going. We need a time lapse. We need drone footage. And then literally, I come up here, the barn's already been built. He didn't catch half the footage, but, you know, he was like, well, my gimbal died. And I was like, you had one job! But at the end of the day, the barn got built. We got some after footage that I'm not sure how we're gonna edit it, but it's gonna be in there somewhere. And we're just thankful to have a barn. I'm thankful to have a brother that, you know, lets me come up and, you know, ransack his brain every now and then when I'm yelling and fussing and complaining. We just have a good time over here. So, see you next time. To be able to be built. So it's a 30 by 90?
30 by 100, 3-sided enclosed, open front with 20-foot bays.
That is way too much information.
I'll say it then.
So
what we're gonna use the barn for?